Okay, so I'm recording
Mm,
now, and yeah, okay, so hi Silva. Silva is
Hi,
in
Ryan.
Prague, Czech Republic, and I've known Silva for a couple of years. She was my private student in Prague. Every week she came to my apartment classroom, and I got to get to know her and teach her my method. And I'm talking with her today because I really like her story. There's a clear before and after. When I met her, of course, she spoke English, but like so many of my students, it wasn't good enough. And she had a very strong, a very interesting hobby, passion in life, and English was the barrier. To get to that hobby, that passion, she had to remove the English barrier. So that's the story that has been in my head for years, and I would want to share it with everyone now. So, Silva, start with that story. When you met me, tell us about your hobby and why English was a barrier and why you were not satisfied. What was your life before your English improved?
Okay, thank you, Ryan. So you started so nicely. I will continue. Well, I have interesting hobby for me, for many people I know, but it's not commonly known. It's an ancient textile technique called sprang. It's known from the Bronze Age and used in many places of the world, all around the world, I
How do you
think.
spell that?
And I sprang SP and R and
Sprang.
it's common name for it.
Silva, you
Yeah.
froze at a very
So
interesting moment.
I will write it down because spelling is not my good side.
No,
Okay.
you can't see it, but your face
Where
froze.
is it?
Okay, it's better now. Sprang.
Okay. Okay.
Sprang.
Frank. And is it SPRNG? Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. You can see, everyone can see that I'm not so perfect in English, but before I met Ryan and started to go my way to catch my dream about connecting to other people interested in the same sprang technique. Okay, it was a troublesome for me because I couldn't speak English and I didn't feel so good to speak English. But now I'm still not perfect, but at least it's okay. It's not limiting anymore. And I think I came a long way, and my English is a lot better than it was before. I must say, my mom was English teacher. I think it's maybe a common story for more people. She corrected me every time I tried to speak English. It wasn't much motivating. And my feeling was I can't make any mistake. And I was trying to connect to people in Norway, trying to make websites about the sprang technique for people in the world to know it better because it's not commonly known. And I wanted to have an English version for it. And I needed to connect some museums where the sprang artifacts are and ask them for permission to publish their photos and so on. So all this I did with the help of my friend who spoke English very well, because I didn't feel so good to even write an email. And then from Norway, they contacted me and asked me to have a presentation about Czech traditional sprang in their seminar. And they will pay me tickets and and my time there, and they wanted to learn from me. And that was a motivation, very big motivation. I had circa half a year to improve my English so that I can speak clearly and fluently, publicly, to those Norwegian people. And what to do? I tried to find some teacher, and Ryan has a website, Teacher Creature. So I found two teachers there. Both must leave me after quite a short time. One back to Australia, another to Croatia. And then I started to work with Ryan and with his techniques, how to learn, how to improve English. It helped me a lot. I must say it catapulted me quite a lot. I had a strong motivation, and what Ryan did was that he introduced me to a Toastmasters group, where it was a group about public speaking and in English. So 2 challenges for me: to speak publicly and to speak in English. I was there for a year, I think. Wow. At the beginning, I could understand circa, 30% of conversation of the speakers. After that year, I think it was 80%, even more, depending on the speaker, on his accent and how fast he spoke. So yeah, it was something for me.
You were very brave to join Toastmasters. I recommend Toastmasters to many students, and almost nobody joins. I think maybe total 2 students have taken my advice and joined, and you're one of them. So, and yeah, it's a great way to improve, but you need a lot of courage to speak in your native language and then speak in a foreign language. So very good for you. So
it was, yeah.
You left the story in the middle. So you wanted to go to this conference. You had half a year to prepare, to share your passion for Sprang. And then what happened when you got to the conference? What happened?
What happened in conference? I could speak for, finally, it should be an hour for the first. Afterwards, it was 6 hours, because after my speech and our speech, it was a workshop. So I instructed them how to make a frames, how to wave, how to actually make that Sprang technique. So it was success for me, and I wanted to continue. I wanted to be better and better, because I still felt it's fine. I can speak. They can understand me. I can give them my message, what I want to say. But still, I want more. When I started, I wanted more. So I started to work with Ryan's program, Vocab Fast. It increased my vocab a lot. Again, it wasn't a long time. I think it was, I don't know, 5 words a day, something like this. I could like remember. I just know that I increased my vocab again during quite a short period, half a year, or how long did it take? I don't know. I don't understand. Not understand. I don't remember exactly. But when we began, I wanted to have at least 1,000 words, but at the end I have 5,000 words, and now I try to make some tests, and it was 10,000 words or something like this.
Wow. Very good.
A little moment, my daughter came and wants something from me. I must communicate it with her. Aneško, prosím, vezmi ještě, teďkom povídám a děláme video. Vezmi ještě, dej mi 20 minut. Děkuju. So, okay, both daughters are perfect. A little one and a bigger one. And it's okay, we can continue. Oh.
Are you still traveling to Norway? Are you still giving workshops?
Yeah.
Great.
Yes, I am, but I started to learn Norwegian for it. And there was one old lady who didn't speak English, the one who started with Sprang there after okay, revive it again, this technique. And I wanted to speak to her without translator. I started to learn Norwegian from zero level, and before it, German from zero level. So with English, I had some experience from the school, so it was a different to start with some language from zero level and to get to some level that I can have some like basic conversation now after
Yeah.
after 2 years of Norwegian,
Great.
using the same techniques as for English. So it's
Good.
fine.
Yeah, they kind of, once you have a good strategy, you can transfer it to other languages. Sylva, do you have a picture or an example of a sprang? Is it a backpack?
Okay.
Something handy?
I can write to website. There's English version, so maybe it's easier because I don't have it right here right now. I think so. I'm in my work for ceramic, so I don't have it here. I usually have, but at home now.
Okay.
But in my website, if it's possible, there's a lot of things. Okay.
Yeah. Don't worry about it. Okay. Good. So how we talked about what English did for your hobby. There's the website. I'll share it in the comments. So now you can travel more, you can share your hobby more, you can speak to people more, you can speak in public. How does that make you feel? Let's talk about
it's fun.
Feelings.
Much more confident than before, of course. And what I learned is that I don't need to speak perfectly. It's important to speak and to say what I want to say, and people appreciate it, even though I make quite a lot of mistakes, and doesn't matter. And the accent isn't so important for English speaking people. Usually it's important for them to understand what you want to say. So that's what I learned, and it's more important than perfect English, I think.
Exactly. So now you feel confident, you feel relaxed, satisfied. Before, how did you feel?
Yeah.
The idea of traveling to Norway and speaking.
I felt I will need dictionary on on each step I will make. So it wasn't a good feeling. I was afraid to travel. Not so much. I traveled, of course, but using a dictionary a lot and trying to travel with someone else who speaks the language. Now I change the strategy and learning a new language. I'm trying to use it from the beginning, from knowing 5 words, try to using it as much as I can in a foreign country. And it works together with English, of course, because it's not easy to communicate with 5 or 10 words. But when you start to speak in any language, I think the vocab will come very fast.
Yeah.
So that's experience.
You mentioned you have some advice for mothers who are super busy. Do you want to share that with us now?
Yeah. Oh yes, because I'm a super busy mother myself, and I couldn't use all the right strategies like fill your dead times. I had feeling I don't have any dead time in my daily schedule. No, babies, work, family, home. It felt everything, but still I found some. What helped me was to do whatever, a little bit of language, English, now Norwegian, before German, whatever, a little piece of it every day. It may be only listening to audiobooks before I fall asleep. I can be with my baby together, but I can have headphones and listen to audiobook. And I did it for many months when I couldn't do anything else to build my vocab using Memrise or whatever program, or to have online lessons with teachers. There are periods in my life I can't do anything of the good things, even reading and writing. It's no time for it. But listening, I can do it when I have baby with me. So usually before I fall asleep, I have audiobook in my target language, and it goes slowly, but still I have a lot of impact every day, some input of the language. And I must say, I did it for 3 months when I started with German from zero level, knowing, I don't know, 5 words, and there die das. No, I started to listen to audiobook, which I already knew from before in Czech, or we can say in other language, you know, your first language. And I could just catch one word from 100 or more. And after these three months, just listening and don't understand most of the book, just knowing I'm circa here or here in the story, I could understand when one word starts and when it ends. I could separate them. What wasn't I wasn't able to do it before, and it helped so much when I started to build my vocab afterwards. Mm-hmm. Because I had a feeling of a grammar, of how it should sound right. It was like a baby starts to learn how to speak. Yeah. Just listen, and it helped. Only 10 minutes a day, just listen to audiobook before I fall asleep.
That's great.
It was one thing one can do.
And you said it didn't feel like you were, did you say it didn't feel like you were making progress at first? It felt slow?
At first, of course, because I always fell asleep after 10 minutes. So I listened to the first chapter month and then I moved again. But okay, the progress was very, very slow. I understood one word. After 2 weeks, I understood 2 others. And then I just started to take them apart, those words. But it was something, and how it helped, I understood afterwards when I started to learn more, when I had more time and I started to build my vocab. Then, oh, I heard this word before. I had feeling what it could be, and I could remember it easier than when I hear it for the first time.
Yeah.
So it's my experience. Just listening. It's a very much. It doesn't look like this, but it works a lot.
Yeah, listening is what's one of the common factors that most successful English students have in common. You know, some people say start speaking early, start speaking late. Some people say do this method, do that method. But what most people have in common is a lot of listening. So do you have a favorite, one last thing, do you have a favorite English audiobook, something you can recommend for others?
Oh yeah, I think everyone has his own books he likes, his genre he likes. I like fantasy, of course, and some documentaries and many things. And I started to listen to books I read before. So it was The Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter and things like this. And I have one favorite Norwegian thriller, Millennium Trilogy by Stieg Larsson. So I read it before.
Yeah.
And it's not for beginners. And these are not books for beginners, but as I knew them from before, it was very, not Lord of the Rings is an ideal book for the beginning to listen to something. The language is complicated a bit, but that Millennium Story was like normal speaking. It was very helpful.
So no Peppa Pig.
So everyone can find his own favorite book, which he knows in his language, and then find English version. Audible are perfect choice to find books for me.
It's not free, but it's a great bargain. Just
no, it's not free.
Many hours for less than $1 a day, basically. Yeah. Okay, Sylva. I want to go to. You froze again. Maybe that's a good time to stop. Yeah. So, thank you.
So
there you go.
Thank you.
The video is off and on, spotty. Okay, Sylva, thanks for joining us. We can continue talking after, but I just want to stop the recording now. So thank you for sharing your story. It's I find it very motivational. I think others will too. And good tips. And thanks again. And have a great night.
Thank you.
Okay, we can keep
everyone.
talking. I just want to